Sayana was a prominent figure in ancient Indian philosophy and is credited with writing the Kamasutra. He was a Brahmin and lived in India in the 2nd or 3rd century CE, most likely in Pataliputra. His birthplace is unknown, modern-day Patna in Bihar. He should not be confused with Pakalasman Sayana, the author of Nyaya Sutra Bhashya, the earliest commentary on Gautama's Nyaya Sutras that has been preserved. It is possible to get his name mixed up with that of Malanaga, the seer of the Asuras, who is often regarded as the founder of sexual science. This is an error. There is very little information about Sayana that comes from any sources other than the Kamasutra itself. His interest in refined human conduct, particularly sexual activity, as a way of fulfillment was described in his book known as the Kamasutra. Sayana wrote the Kamasutra. This is what he has to say about himself at the end of the Kamasutra. This treatise was written by Vatsyayana while living the life of a religious student in Benares and wholly engaged in the contemplation of the deity. After reading and considering the works of Babravya and other ancient authors, as well as thinking over the meaning of the rules given by them, Vatsyayana composed this treatise, according to the precepts of the Holy Writ, for the benefit of the world. This treatise was written for the This work is not to be seen as solely a tool for the purpose of gratifying our whims and fancies. A person who is familiar with the real principles of this discipline, who maintains his dharma, merit or religious virtue, his artha, worldly riches, and his kama, pleasure or sensual fulfillment, and who has reverence for the traditions of the people, would undoubtedly acquire control over his senses. In a nutshell, a clever and knowledgeable individual who pays attention to dharma and artha and also to the kama, without allowing himself to become the slave of his desires, will achieve success in whatever it is that he chooses to undertake. Because he mentions that Satakarni Satavahana, a king of Kuntal, killed Malayavati, his wife, with an instrument called Katari by striking her in the passion of love, some people believe that he must have lived between the 1st and 6th centuries CE. The reasoning behind this belief is as follows. He mentions that Satakarni Satavahana, a king of Kuntal, killed Malayavati, his wife. Vatsyayana refers to this incident as an example to illustrate the danger that might result from certain antiquated practices, that include hitting women when they are overcome with sexual ardor. It is thought that this monarch of Kuntal existed and ruled, and as a result, Vatsyayana must have lived after he did. On the other hand, another author named Varahamihara examines the science of love in the 18th chapter of his Brihatsanhita book. It seems that Varahamihara drew heavily from Vatsyayana on the topic of the science of love. Some people think that Varahamihara lived during the 6th century, and because of this, they conclude that Vatsyayana must have authored his writings prior to the 6th century.